The Garden of Eden, that tale which depicts the fall of man, it has brought many questions to the forefront of human minds. It has made lots of people leave Christianity, spirituality altogether because of how absurd it is. It is told. As I'm sure you all know the story, Eve gets manipulated by the serpent to eat from the tree of good and evil. And then she convinces Adam to do the same. At which point they awaken and realize they're naked and hide from God. God then banishes them, and after Satan says you'll become like gods, but then God says, well, they've become like gods. So both the serpent and God agree that they've become like gods. And they're banished from the garden. Now, the way this is portrayed by Christians is this is the fall of man. This is sin. This is when sin entered the world. First off, that's a wrong. Sin would have had to been in the world much longer if it were possible for them to commit it and not create it. You following what I'm saying? And then the argument may be, well, it was the fallen angels who committed the first sin. Okay. So, what I think is really going on there is a download, if you will, was taken by Adam and Eve, which then shifted human consciousness into this everlasting binary thinking, this duality thought process of good and evil, right and wrong. There's only a left or right option. There are no up and down. We entered this two-dimensional inner world, this horizontal world. And so the goal, to keep this very short, since we're in this horizontal world, we were in a three-dimensional world, if you will, inner world. You could even go in higher dimensions, but I'm just keeping it very simple here. We were in this three-dimensional world. Then we took this download that brought our world to the horizontal perspective. And so the goal is to reconnect with that three-dimensional world, which is what the cross represents, which is why you pick up your cross, because Son of Man is the horizontal part of the cross. Son of God is the vertical part of the cross. And then you, nailed on that cross, is bringing that together. So, summarize. Adam and Eve, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, was a download to create a duality world, which then brought us to a horizontal perspective. And then the return to God is to reconnect with the three-dimensional interworld, where you have the Son of God vertically, Son of Man horizontally. Which then leads us to what is evil, what is the devil, what is the serpent. Very simply put, the serpent is your human mind. It is your fleshly mind. It is your ego. The devil, same thing. Evil, same thing. None of these things are what you think they are. They are all within you. You create them. You destroy them. That is why Jesus said, you can forgive your sins. You can retain your sins. What you bound on heaven will be bound. What you bound on earth will be bound on heaven. What you loose on earth will be loosened in heaven. So, the devil you think is, and the demons you think are only your emphasis on your nightmare. And God and angels are nothing more than once again, your emphasis on that dream. Christ is within you. He says, I and the Father are one. Now I go back to the Father, and now all of us are one together. 1 John 2:27. We are all anointed. We are all Christ. So, redemption is to bring the three-dimensional world back to your inner self, to your true nature, to the I am, to the I will be, I will be. It's not about sin. It's not about the fall. Good and evil are machinations of the human mind because of the download we've taken.